it all helps to pass the time, and it's all to do with railways, and that's the main thing about the club. No matter what aspect of railway mania, shall we say, there is somebody who is interested in it. And so if anybody comes up with a particular question or problem, then up to now we've found somebody in the club who is able to solve the problem or help them with any particular problems they've got.
What I enjoy about the club, well, just the friendship and the chance to impart, if you like, some of the skills I've built up over the 50 odd years that I've been involved with model railways, and I like to be involved with the running of the club and so on and so forth. So yeah, I just enjoy the camaraderie and the banter and the ribbon that we all get from each other, because none of us, we've all got different interests, and it's just good fun. It's fun. It's nice. It's nice to be able to spend a couple of hours and once, twice a week. Biggest layer is the what we call Weeford Town, and it's 32 foot by sort of 12 foot. It's double track main line with a branch going up to the high level station, which has 4 platforms, a small goods yard, and there's also an engine shed which services all the locos that are used on the trains up and down from Weeford Town station. We recently, about 5 years ago, started an extension which now provides us with an out and back layout, rather than going from Weeford Town down to the lower level and just going round in circles. So now we can go from point A to point B.
It's been in existence about 15 years in its current form. It was actually at our original clubhouse, which used to be in Witchner. It's been developed as we speak, because we're talking of changing one of the junctions to make it more realistic. It has semaphore signals. At the moment they don't work. It is proposed that they will work in conjunction with the various points and so forth that are all motorised, and it can be used on either DC or DCC, and we can run trains up to 15 coaches long, and we can get 10 coaches in the various stations. But it all runs well, and most of the members know how it runs. We also, on perhaps a Tuesday night, members will buy a new engine or something like that and they want to try it out, so they bring it up and they can run it round, and we have what we call a roundy session. We also, on a Sunday, the last Sunday in the month, we have what we call a running session, and we run the system then to a schedule that has been devised by one of our members.
And we have a sequence which starts off as about, I think, somewhere about 40 moves, and it brings the stock and the locos, when we start at number 1, once we get to number 40, everything should, in theory, be where it started.
And we need something like 7 operators to actually operate it properly, and it runs to a time schedule, which is very interesting, because it's just like the old railway used to be. And when we get the right people, what we call the A-team, instead of a bell code, we shout instructions to each other. In other words, can you accept a particular train? And all the trains are numbered, and if that person who's acting as an operator and a signalman can accept the train, then they say, yes, I can accept it, and they pass it through their section, and then they offer it to the next person along the line, and that person either accepts it or has to say, no, I can't accept it, so we hold it at the signals.
We're not really restricted here to a particular time scale. In other words, we don't model as it was in 1955. Some people are very strict on that, but we have to, as a club, we have to cater for everybody. So there's no slavish insistence on having locos that ran only in 1955 or only in 1965, you know. So it's, but I think the essence of a good layer is that you're creating a little bit of history and a little bit of how things were when you were a lad.
You can do way so much more with DCC. You haven't got to. I mean, with normal analogue, you've got to turn all these sections off so the trains don't start moving around. But with digital, you can just park your train in the siding, especially with the sound loco, just leave them ticking over and just go mess with some of the tasks. You can leave it there 10, 15, an hour, and it'll just keep rumbling away merrily to itself. New members coming in, especially now we've done our own show as well. We've sort of put ourselves back onto the show circuit again. We're getting a good reputation, taking our layouts to the shows as well. So it all seems to be boding well for the club. I think it's not going to be a permanent fixture for the club now. Do a show in September. There's not many shows in September, so you're not clashing with many things and trying to fight to pull people into your show. I mean, I know the last show we had a gentleman, he'd come from London on Tornado, got off at Lichfield and come to our show because he'd heard about it.
The future, it looks good because there is more and more involvement by more and more people.
Like trying to get onto the exhibition circuit sort of thing. I'll sort of do the little shows first and then hopefully get invited to Stafford and hopefully Worley one day. You never know, that'd be a bit of feather in the cap, get to Worley. It would.
And we're getting more and more younger influence, so I believe the club will go on and on.
I see no reason why we can't go from strength to strength. We've got a good nucleus and a good membership base, and I'm very optimistic about the future.